Millions of people watched it, quoted it, fell in love with it. A fairy tale wrapped in Hollywood glamour. But behind the polished scenes of Pretty Woman, there were moments that audiences were never meant to see. Scenes that were rewritten, removed, or quietly left behind. Fragments of a very different story. Because what the world remembers isn't always what was originally created. Before the film became a global sensation, its stars were still building their paths in Hollywood. Julia Roberts, at the time, was a rising actress searching for her defining role. Her early career had been filled with small parts and uncertain opportunities, but there was something about her presence, something raw and genuine, that set her apart. On the other side was Richard Gere, already an established name. Known for his quiet intensity and charm, Gere brought a sense of control and depth to every role he took. Together, they would create one of the most memorable on-screen pairings in film history. But the story of Pretty Woman didn't begin as the romantic fantasy audiences know today. Early versions of the script painted a much darker picture. According to those familiar with the development process, the original concept leaned heavily into the harsh realities of its characters' lives. It was less about romance and more about survival. Many believe the tone was closer to a drama than a love story, far from the light-hearted film that would eventually captivate millions. And that's where the changes began. Insiders have often suggested that as production moved forward, creative decisions were made to reshape the narrative. Certain scenes, ones that explored deeper emotional conflict and uncomfortable truths, were either rewritten or removed entirely. The goal was clear: transform the film into something audiences could embrace more easily. One of the most talked about moments involved scenes that reportedly highlighted a far more complicated dynamic between the main characters. Those close to the project recall that early drafts included interactions that felt less idealized and more grounded in reality. Over time, these elements were softened, creating the iconic chemistry that audiences now remember. Another key turning point came during filming itself. It was later reported that some scenes were adjusted on set, influenced by the performances and evolving vision of the film. The connection between Roberts and Gere brought a new energy, one that shifted the tone towards something more hopeful. But not everything made it to the final cut. There are whispers of scenes that were filmed but never released. Moments that didn't align with the final direction. While details remain limited, many believe these forbidden scenes reflected a version of the story that Hollywood ultimately chose not to show. For the cast, these changes were more than just technical decisions. They were part of a larger transformation. Julia Roberts, in particular, emerged from the film as a global star. The role didn't just define her career, it reshaped how audiences saw her. And for Richard Gere, it reinforced his place as one of Hollywood's most enduring leading men. Looking back, the story of Pretty Woman becomes something more than just a romantic film. It becomes a reflection of Hollywood itself. An industry where stories are constantly evolving, where creative vision meets commercial reality, and where the final product is often very different from the original idea. Today, the film remains a cultural icon. Its scenes, its dialogue, its unforgettable moments continue to resonate with audiences around the world. But behind that legacy lies a quieter truth. That every film has another version. One that exists in scripts, in deleted scenes, and in the memories of those who were there. And sometimes, those unseen moments tell a story just as powerful as the one we know. Because in Hollywood, what isn't shown can be just as important as what is. If you found this story intriguing, share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think those hidden scenes might have revealed? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more cinematic documentaries uncovering the untold stories behind your favorite films.